Hey, Kelly. Hello to Kelly, and only Kelly, apparently. Well, looks like it's just the two of us tonight. Hey, Mary. Hey, Scapegoat. Yeah, quiet night, apparently. Yeah, pressure to perform. Yep. Yeah, it does seem to be kind of a quiet night. Hey, Campbell's wife. What I'm doing for Christmas? Uh, gonna be visiting my mom. It was long and hard, so I have to sleep with you now. Your day was long and hard, just like my day. Hey, Val. I'm actually really tired tonight, too. I don't really know why. I didn't really do much. Work was dead quiet again. Best holiday you received on Christmas Eve. Thanks, Campbell. JJ! Oh, hey, shit. 1 year, yeah. Thank you for a full year, JJ. Yeah, it has been a year since I opened. It's been a little, yeah, what was it? Yeah, it was like it was November of last year, wasn't it, that I opened my subscriptions? I think November of 2022 that I opened the subscriptions. Yeah. Don't really have a lot of members anymore. Or, yeah, members that I opened members. Don't have a huge number of members anymore. 32 members. So got 32 people who are still members. And I suspect most of them have been for a while. Beard's getting it is. My beard is getting big. I should probably trim it. Actually, yeah. So Leslie has only been a member for a few days. Leslie Kohler. Um, Vanna for 3 months. Taylor Cole for 5 months, but most people have been closing in on a year. So Most of my remaining members have been members for a full year now. Hey, color purple. Looks good. Keep my face warm for winter. You would think so. Got laid off in May. Ah. Well, that's shitty, Val. Well, it's their loss, I'm sure. Next right thing will be better. Indeed. Hey, thank you, JJ. Thank you for 5 gift memberships. Congratulations to Color Purple, Vow, Mary, Trailer, and Anunnaki. So 3 of you are here. Trailer and Anunnaki aren't here right now. I'll congratulate Anunnaki when she shows up, because she usually shows up. Trailers. Hey, Peter Parker. Trailer isn't around as much as she used to be, sadly. Shame that, but presumably has a life. Hey, Anunnaki. Congratulations on getting a gift sub from JJ. JJ just dropped some gift subs. And you were one of the lucky beneficiaries. A life? In this economy? I know. You're not wrong. You made charcuterie? Nice. Anything fancy on it? JJ is our new Santa. Yep. Hey, Elf. Anything fancy in the charcuterie? Which is a fun word. Making s'mores. Cool, cool. Charcuterie. Hey, Northern Lights. Gouda, smoked Havarti, salami, garlic honey pep. Yeah. So fancier than I would be, fancier than I would go for myself. I am the most basic of bitches. Anyway, I tried listening to some Christmas music today. Tried like looking on YouTube for like indie rock Christmas music. It's kind of amazing just how much I hate Christmas music. Like just there's nothing, absolutely nothing that no way to actually make Christmas music that I actually enjoy. Did I have a better? Yeah, I mean, it's quiet again. Yeah, nice quiet night. Chinese food for Christmas Eve? Nah. I mean, I'll be working. So, and honestly, Cornwall doesn't have good Chinese food. Going to the bars for Christmas? I mean, I'm pretty sure you know I never go to bars. Hey, Barbara. Actually, like to give you, just like to give you, uh, ice on the road. I don't think so. I don't think we do yet. Yeah, like just to give you an example of how poor Cornwall's Chinese food scene is. Skip the Dishes, which is like Uber Eats, like the local like, Skip the Dishes, which is like a Canadian version of Uber Eats. Hey, Leslie, it doesn't even have a category for Chinese. Like, I don't think would I eat a pickle on stream? I mean, I have nothing against pickles. Like, I'm fine with pickles. I never pick them up for myself. But yeah, like I don't think we even have a. Shit, do we even have a Chinese place that delivers in Cornwall? I suppose there are some. But yeah, it's a grim town that we live in. Hey, Peter Parker. Uh, Something nice. I mean, tomorrow night my dinner tomorrow night is just going to be a Chinese or just a microwave dinner. I'm working. Like I work tomorrow. I work 5:30 to 2. Like I can't really order out. Even if I weren't working, there's 2 a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m. I work until 2 a.m. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have cash, so I mean, I pretty much have to. Hey, Mochi. But honestly, in terms of takeout, like unless you've got cash, so you're into like yeah, get an all you can eat meal. And I suppose most places you can do debit at the door. Like we didn't. No. I mean, yeah. It's what I got. It's food. Hey, Lady Sunflower. It's food, more or less. Junk food? Yeah, I eat plenty of junk. I eat junk food pretty regularly. That's why I don't lose any weight. Wonderful Christmas. Yeah. And apparently we're gonna have roast beef. Kit Kats? No, I don't eat Kit Kats anymore. Um, Basically, all the big chocolate companies, Mars, Nestle, all the big chocolate, those, and there's one other I forget, but the big chocolate companies, um, none of them are willing to commit to not being just completely evil. So I decided, yeah, fuck it, I'm not gonna eat them anymore. I'm not gonna give them my money anymore. When will I go see my mom? I mean, I don't know what time I'll be leaving, but yeah, I'll be seeing her on Christmas Day. Probably leave like, probably head over there sometime in the evening, early. Probably head over there like early evening, just because the fact that I work, like the fact that yeah, it's a weird schedule that I live on. It's a really fucked up schedule that I live on. Probably, yeah, I'll be seeing him too. So yeah, it'll probably be like early evening that I head over there, just because that's when I'll be getting up. It's my shift again. My shift is 5:30 in the evening until 2 in the morning. And like it's easy to think, oh well, you can just go to bed at go to bed at 4 in the morning, get up at noon. You can get up at a reasonable time and just whatever. You get up a few hours before your shift, and you've got some time before, and you've got a few hours of your day before your shift starts. But like that doesn't work for me. If I have something that I need to do, like if I have something scheduled, I can't really do anything before that. Same days each week. Same days each week. How do you find time for your friends? Helps when you don't have any. 8 to 4:30 and kills me inside. Yeah, I assume that's daytime, JJ, or is that evening? Daytime. Yeah, I can. I hate shifts. I hated shifts like that. Those shifts like that were fucking terrible. Getting up early. Ugh. Love night shift. Indeed. Somewhere I work 7 to 3:30, and that's somehow easier. Plans for mom's? I mean, dinner. Head over there, hang out, have dinner. Night shift at a group home, so that's why I was here. Hey, that's cool. That's cool, Lady Sunflower. Worked graveyard. Yeah. See my new hoodie? I'll put it on briefly. I don't really want to wear it when I'm not too chilly, just because I don't want to get used to it and then find that. Here's the hoodie. Did I get you anything for Christmas? Yeah. I got you these nuts. If you worked at a casino, you get tired, they have no windows. So do I. It's, how much? I don't actually remember. I don't remember how much it cost. But yeah, I mean, it's like Spider-Gwen's just got like one of the great, like just a phenomenal costume. Like Spider-Gwen's got a costume that made her popular. You know? Like no joke, like it is like 80% of why she became popular in the first place was that costume. So thanks, Leslie. Movie is basically Spider-Gwen movie. I mean the movies were good, but I mean like I was talking about like the comics. Because I mean she existed in the comics before she existed in the movie. And yeah, it was like 10 years ago that she debuted in the comics. Do I like chestnuts? I don't know that I honestly don't remember if I've ever had chestnuts. I probably have. I would think I probably have, but I honestly don't remember. I'm sure I'd find them fine. Actually, I think I have. I think I have had chestnuts. They're a pain in the ass to open. Yes, I have had chestnuts. And I mean they taste fine. You know, they taste fine. It's just the opening them is a pain in the ass. They honestly don't feel like they're worth the effort. Like they're not so good as to be worth the effort that it takes to open them and eat them. Because I mean, even like you crunch them and then you've got to like pick the actual edible shit out. They're a legitimate. They're just a pain in the ass. People in France put butter on them. Well, I mean that's France. They put butter on everything. Chestnut trees are almost extinct. Huh. Weird. My favorite nuts are pistachios. You put mustard on hot dogs? I don't. I put mustard on hamburgers, but not on hot dogs. For hot dogs, I like ketchup and onion. Last time I got, yeah. I started putting onion on hot dogs, and I like onion on hot dogs as well. So ketchup and onion, and that's about it. Red pistachio? Yep, I remember red pistachios. Those were a thing to cover up, like, that was a thing they did to cover up discolorations. They don't use it anymore because they don't need to. They used it to cover up discoloration on the pistachios, but because of changes in like how they're grown and transported or something like that, uh, it just stopped being needed. pistachios just no longer have. It's no longer as common for pistachios to have to be discolored. Because I mean, they were still fine. Like they weren't bad. They hadn't gone bad or anything. It was just they looked bad. Yeah, you'd get pistachios that would start to look bad, even though they were still good. So, in order to get people to still buy them, haven't seen. Oh, I did see your comment question about the Christmas tree. Yes, they did actually put a Christmas tree. That was the last comment I saw from you. Was asking about if they put up a Christmas tree. You hate nuts. Maybe you'd like these nuts. I'm sorry. Anyway, you hate onions, Ozzy? Yeah, I mean, I used to kind of like. Am I allergic to any foods? Not that. I am lactose intolerant. I have become lactose intolerant. I'm pretty sure that I have become lactose intolerant in my old age. Other than that, nothing I'm aware of. Allergic to onions? Oof. That must be rough because onions are good. Yeah, like onions add a lot of onions add really good flavor to a lot of food. No dairy? Yeah. Cheese doesn't really seem to hurt me. Iconic bite of raw onion. Yep. Like I've had cheese. I'll every once in a while I'll pick up like some vegetables dip and like a brick of cheese. So just eating like a brick of cheese, like just eating cheese doesn't seem to cause any problems. But ice cream or a milkshake. Should I go to a picnic? You can't eat any salads because everyone uses onion. Yeah. Wait, in salads? I mean, some salads, sure, but I mean, Caesar, yeah, I mean, Caesar salad. Like you could put well, actually, yeah, red onion, I suppose. Like strips of red onion actually would be good in a Caesar salad. Come to think of it, I suppose, yeah, that's what I'm thinking is like just like the thin strips of red onion would probably be. Yeah, those are pretty common in salads, I guess. And yeah, I mean, it's something that Caesar salad. I mean, the most important part of most salads is just the lettuce, and then you can throw in whatever you want: cucumber, tomato, onion, whatever else. For Caesar salad, you had bacon bits and croutons, and then again, whatever else you want. Or I hate the taste of turkey. I'm still fine with the taste of turkey. It's just, I will say, I've gotten tired of turkey leftovers. Potato and macaroni salad, they using. I don't eat potato or macaroni salad, so allergic to Caesar salad, anchovy paste in the dressing. Yeah, Would I eat anything that makes my stomach upset? I would try not to. Yeah, so like turkey, like I still like turkey, but I have hit a point where it's like I don't want leftovers. I'll eat it the day of, and then it's like, yeah, I don't really want multiple days of turkey. Just give me the one day, just give the one night of turkey, and then I don't really want to be eating it for the next 2, 3 days afterwards as well. It's like, ugh, I don't have the I don't have the interest in leftover turkey. Um, yeah, roast beef is what we're doing. Is what we're doing this Christmas. Is why we're doing a my brother's decision. Not big on any kind of leftovers. Generally, I'm not a either for the most part. When I visit Montreal, yeah, I mean I've been there before. It's a really nice city. I'd absolutely be down to go back to Montreal. I was born in Montreal. Want the meal once, not 3 days in a row. Yeah, Montreal's the best place in Canada. You're probably right. Multicultural Montreal, or is that Toronto? They're both actually pretty multicultural. Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver are all pretty multicultural cities. And Ottawa, actually. Yeah, I would honestly be kind of inclined to agree that is probably the best city in Canada. Like Toronto's bigger, and Ottawa's the capital, but Montreal is just it's a very special city, it feels like. I've been to Toronto Skyline. I haven't been to Toronto in forever. 25 years at least. At least 25 years. And even then, it was just like to get to the airport. Like, went to Toronto once or twice, like to visit as a kid. When my mom's family was over, when my aunt and uncle and cousin were over, when I was like really young, like single digits, I think. So I haven't actually like been to Toronto in a really, really, really long time. Rock and Hogan in Toronto. Yeah, but fuck Hulk Hogan. Maybe fuck The Rock as well. I've heard some things about him. The Rock as a wrestler, The Rock was actually like kind of the opposite of Hulk Hogan. Like like in terms of like sort of like backstage, like in terms of like the backstage bullshit, The Rock was actually kind of the opposite of Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was notorious, infamous, notorious for being super protective of his image and like refusing to put other wrestlers over, younger wrestlers over. Or not even just younger, but just putting other people over. He refused to put so many people over. Meanwhile, The Rock was like, "Oh, you want?" Was like, "Yeah, I'll put this dude over. Oh, he's got the goofiest fucking gimmick you've ever seen. Shit, yeah, I'll make him a fucking star. I'm one of the biggest names in your company. I will use that name power to make this guy a fucking star. Because I can goddamn do it. I'm the fucking Rock, bitch." Most notable was when he put over a guy, like, dude by the name of the Hurricane. His whole gimmick was that he had like this superhero gimmick. It was so weird, so silly and stupid and goofy, but it was fun, and The Rock was entirely on board with it. Hogan would never have been on board with something like that. Hogan was like a politician. He was. Also, Hulk Hogan sold out the other wrestlers to Vince McMahon. Back in the day, Ventura. I'm blanking on the guy's first name. I'm blanking on the wrestler's first name. He was also a mayor. Jesse Ventura. Yes, thank you, Kelly and Anunnaki. Back in the day, Jesse Ventura tried to get the WWF locker room to unionize. And thank you, Lady Sunflower. Jesse Ventura was leading like a unionization effort, and Hulk Hogan went to Vince McMahon, and that gave McMahon the time to nip the unionization in the bud, to cut it off before it could really latch on. So, fuck Hulk Hogan. There's also the fact that the guy never, over the course of decades, never allowed the Macho Man to get a pin on him. You know, he never lost a match clean to the Macho Man Randy Savage. I mean, Macho Man's a pretty controversial figure as well. He had some shit, but they fought so often. Like, they wrestled so many times. So many matches. And Hogan just refused to be pinned. Hogan was so selfish as a wrestler. Mediocre talent as well, but just so damn selfish. I have no respect for that dude. Because professional wrestling is entertainment, and entertainment should always, always, always be a collaborative effort. It should always be about, everyone lifting each other up to make the best performances possible, to put on the most entertaining shows possible. But Hulk Hogan was looking out for number one. He was looking out for himself above all else. Even if it meant making an absolutely shitty show. even if it meant ruining the actual story. What mattered to him was looking good. Remember when Vince beat the US government? I don't remember that. The steroid trial? Yeah. I don't really remember that. I didn't really pay much attention to it. I haven't read much about it. Yeah, Vince is an asshole. Like Vince was always an asshole, but I do feel like he probably became even more of one once he sort of made himself part of the show. Like as a commentator when working. Oh hell no. In what capacity would I work for the WWE? In what fucking capacity are they going to hire me in? but but like back in the days was when he was doing like color commentary. He was still shitty, but I think once he became sort of one of the in-ring talents, I think he probably I think that did lead to him becoming a lot shittier as well, especially he absolutely was doing steroids, and I think that affected him. Yeah. Also, he had a shitty sense of humor. Let's be honest, his sense of humor was shit. Like considering all the comedy matches that he decided to put on, the comedy angles that he did, they were so many of them were terrible. Remember, he won the ECW championship, the N word with the do rag on. Yeah, there's some weird bit where he called John Cena his N word. It was like, my N word? Like, what the fuck? In what world do you think that is okay, Vince? It's one of those things that's just an absolutely baffling thing to do. Yeah, Vince winning the ECW championship. I'm curious, was that when Russo involved in that? Was Vince Russo involved in that decision? Because I know he was, one of WWE's writers for a while, and he was, WCW's writer Like, he was one of WCW's chief top writers at the end of its existence, and like his shittiness is considered like a big part of why WCW ended up failing in the end. He was on TNA, I think. Russo was gone by then. Okay. Because I was just thinking, because like, handing the title to somebody who's not even a wrestler, yeah, that's very much a Vince Russo thing. Him and Bischoff, I guess. Him and Eric Bischoff, for some reason, just love the idea of non-wrestlers getting titles. Eric Bischoff gave himself WCW's hardcore title. Vince Russo, I think, gave himself the WCW heavyweight title. David fucking Arquette, for some reason, was WCW heavyweight champion. Russo ruined everything he touches. Yeah. Yeah, Russo. Vince Russo does seem to be one of those guys who's just. He's got loads of ideas. Almost none of them actually good. Just a lot of really bad ideas. And yet, for some reason, Hogan had the creative control. Exactly, Anunnaki. I mean, he could lose, but it was like he had to approve it. Well, again, one of the most infamous examples of that was a match he had against Sting. Where, basically, in order for the story to work, Hogan had to lose. Like it was the only way to end the story. He had to lose. And he agreed, he'd lose. Except creative control. So it had to be a whole clusterfuck. Hey, Hazelnut. Hey, Hazelnut. Hey, very good. Honestly, I'm not really big. I was a big wrestling fan when I was a kid. Back in like back when WCW had the NWO. So like back in like the mid '90s, mid to late '90s, in the NWO days of the WCW, and sort of the early Attitude Era of WWF, WWE. And then I moved away from it. And then for some reason, a few months ago, I started seeing wrestling videos pop up on my YouTube algorithm, and I've watched a bunch of them. It's interesting shit. Yeah, so like, Hulk Hogan was wrestling Sting, and he agreed he'd lose, but he wanted to look good about it, so what ended up being agreed on was that he would first get a pin on Sting, but it would be like a fast count. The ref would do like a 1, 2, 3 fast count. And then Bret Hart would sort of force the match to continue because, hey, no, fast count, that's not right. Sting deserves better than the fast count, blah, blah. That's shenanigans. Can't have shenanigans. But Hulk Hogan convinced the ref to do a regular count, which made the whole thing just look fucking awful. Like, it just made the whole thing an absolute clusterfuck. Lead singer of the Dixie Chicks died. Yeah, I did see something about that earlier, Val. Though I don't think I saw that it was the singer of the Dixie Chicks. Who do I blame for the Montreal Screwjob? I mean, Vince. Um, the one thing I will say, no worries, Val. Yeah, I did hear. What was her name? I did see something about Chicks singer. Or yeah, didn't they? Did they change their name to just the Chicks or something like that? Because I think that was what I saw. Lead singer of the Chicks. But yeah, like Vince screwed Brett over. The one thing I will say, Bret Hart was leaving WWE and like he was the champion and he was leaving and he was leaving the company like the next night. Like the next night was scheduled to be his final night, and like he said, I'll come out and I'll just drop the and I'll just throw down the belt. He'd be walking out of winner, but he'd like, I don't want your stupid belt anymore. You can keep this belt. Bret Hart would not be the kind of person to just take the belt with him when he left. That said, it wasn't an unfair concern for Vince to have. You know, like you can't have your company's champion take that championship to another company. That's like it had happened in the past with some of the smaller, with certain smaller, I think, um, wrestling companies. So it wasn't actually an unreasonable concern for Vince to have. That oh sure, you just walk it, sure you say you're gonna leave the belt, but then you just walk out. Then you just don't show up Monday. You say you'll hand me the belt on Monday, but then you just don't show up. It's not an unreasonable concern. That said, I really don't think Brett was the kind of guy who was ever the kind of guy who would have done that. And it was really shitty of Vince to screw him over. So, hey, Aspire. Thanks, Aspire. You too. Yeah, for that chick singer. I was never a fan of the chick. But yeah, it's weird because like I saw the name. Yeah, Laura Lynch. So yeah, I saw Laura Lynch. Like I saw mentioned on Twitter, I think that Laura Lynch had died. I was like, that name rings a bell. I was never a fan of the band though, so I may very well be wrong about it having rung a bell. Honestly, Brother Quiet cries when he hears "Traveling Soldier." Sometimes we play it during holidays, so he makes a fool out of himself. That's funny. Songs only make me cry when I'm really tired. There's a few songs that do, like, when I'm tired. Full on wailing sobs. I will say, like, when I'm really tired, there are a few songs that'll get me. Though not too many. Not a lot of songs that'll get me crying even when I'm tired. Main one I can think of, and usually only like if I'm like singing along to it, and even then, yeah, usually only if I'm singing along to it. Even if I'm just like singing under my breath, because I don't really sing out loud here, but like I'll sometimes sort of sing it under my breath. Carol and Tuesday soundtrack has two songs that kind of do it to me: "The Loneliest Girl" and "Mother." Weirdly, both the first and last songs of the show. It's my favorite American song. Cried when I heard "You Were Young." I don't remember that song. I don't know that song. Favorite American. I mean, Heartless Bastards. My favorite band is the Heartless Bastards, and they're American. With "Down in the Canyon" being probably my favorite of their songs. Although, probably my favorite song, period, is probably "Fine on the Outside" by Priscilla Ahn. "Silent Night" gets me. Mom passed away a year ago. This, oh, unexpectedly, someone from her church played and sang "Silent Night" at a rosary. Oh. Favorite artist, but you hate their political beliefs? I don't know. Honestly, most musicians tend to be pretty liberal. most artists, most creative types tend to be pretty liberal. I don't know, like I mean, I don't know. Somehow don't see like sleigh bells coming out against gay marriage, you know? You're coming out against trans rights or something, you know? So and I don't really delve too deeply into the political beliefs of the musicians I enjoy, or of any celebrities. Frankly, like, I don't really delve too deeply into anybody's political beliefs. If I hear about them, I hear about them, but I don't really look into. I don't really actively look into it. Kid Rock. Well, I always hated Kid Rock's music, though. I never liked Kid Rock's music. I always thought he sucked. The fact that it later turned out that he was, you know, Republican asshole, can't say it particularly surprised me, and it kind of made me feel justified in always hating his music. So yeah, like I can't think of anyone I listen to who is at all likely to have shitty politics. Didn't mind his beliefs, but Bono was insufferable for a while. I mean, Bono was insufferable. Is just you could just stop right there. Like you could just end your sentence right there. Bono is insufferable on any, like just in general. Like it's honestly part of his public persona is to be insufferable. You know, like, it's just he's just that kind of person. He could be talking about the weather and he would still somehow find a way to come across as a pretentious dink. You know? Like any topic you bring up, he's just going to come across as a pretentious dink. I'm just gonna be like, shut the fuck up, Bono. Rage Against the Machine that was performed during political season. Well, I mean, Rage only came back recently. Like Rage was on hiatus for a long time. They only came back a couple of years ago. Last year, I think actually 2020. I think they only reunited in 2022. You can believe Blues Fest in Ottawa. I think might have been their first concert together in a while. They're relatively active right now, but I mean, can't say I disagreed with Rage's political views. Some of those that work forces are the same as burn crosses. I don't disagree with that. That is actually a statement of objective fact. I do find it funny when people, when conservatives try to get mad at Tom Morello for expressing his political opinions. And then he just points out that he's actually got like a master's in political sciences. He's like, legitimately, he's exceptionally well educated on these things. So like, oh, who cares about some musician's opinion? It's like, yeah, he's got a fucking master's in political science. Intern having sex in a concussion. And from what I understand, there was a second one. Isn't there news that there was a second one? They asked, don't play our songs during your rallies. Yep. Yeah. Side note, Republicans are fucking shitty about that. Republicans will the band was Neon. Yeah, Republicans are terrible about just not asking before playing songs at the rallies. Can they get sued? Not sued, but cease and desist. There's a cease and desist. There's we do not give you permission to play our song. But it's happened so many times. Yeah, Neil Young has done it a few times where Born in the USA. Well, not Born in the USA, but oh, fuck. Keep on Rocking in the Free World. They'll play Keep on Rocking in the Free World. And Neil Young's like, no. You are what this song, you are why I wrote this song. You are what I was protesting against. Bruce Springsteen has issued cease and desist when Republicans have tried to use Born in the USA because, again, you're what I was protesting. It's just consistently Republicans will use some song that sounds vaguely patriotic when you only look at the title, because Republicans have because conservatives are fucking they don't actually read shit. They don't actually listen to these songs. They have no reading comprehension. They look at the title and that's it. Keep on Rocking in the Free World is a protest song. Born in the USA is a protest song. These are not proud songs. These are not patriotic songs. But Republicans don't particularly care about the arts in general, even less about music. So they look at the title and then that's it. So they'll regularly at their rallies try to play these songs that have titles that they think are patriotic, and regularly they'll be hit with I have not heard of Fish Tank Live. And then they'll be like, the band will be like, no, don't play that song because you are the exact type of people that I wrote this song in protest against. I hate you, and I hate you personally and every single thing that you stand for. So yeah, Republicans really not good at asking permission before using bands' music. Not a good track record on. They do not have a good track record when it comes to their music selection. But even all they're left with is the only music they're actually left with these days is fucking Kid Rock. Who the hell likes Kid? Like nobody actually enjoys Kid Rock. There are people who claim to enjoy him because they feel like they're obligated to, but even they don't actually enjoy his music. Nobody enjoys Kid Rock's music. His fans listen to him out of a sense of duty. It's a chore they have to do. That's basically the only music that Republicans have left. Oh, and Ted Nugent. That's right. They have Ted Nugent as well. Woo. What do you think will be in the Epstein list? Judge said he wants to release names. I don't know. The names that will be released, I suspect, will mostly be people who don't really matter anymore. You know, there'll be a few people. Oh, composer. No, they were not. Yes, Lincoln was a Republican, but Lincoln didn't actually believe in equality. Lincoln didn't even really care that much about slavery. He did it as a way of winning the war. He would have been totally fine allowing slavery to continue if it would have prevented the Civil War from happening. Um, Politicians. There'll be like a few like sort of middling politicians who figured this. Right, but I mean, like I said, like Lincoln did that as a political maneuver, as like a military, like it was a military maneuver that he did. It was a military move that he did it for. And he sure as hell did not believe that blacks were equal to whites. He absolutely did not believe in equal rights for black people. Like, he did not personally like slavery. He did not personally support slavery. But he didn't actually care that passionately about it. Um, beyond that, I mean, aside from that, like, the Republican Party became pretty entrenched in racism in the 60s. Like as back in the 60s when the Democrats started really pushing civil rights, JFK and RFK. Um, LBJ, was like when the Democrats really started to push that, really started to embrace the civil rights movement. It was some of the Democrats switched to the Republican Party out of sort of protest, and the Republican Party really became very much a deeply conservative party at that point. So, like, if you have to go back to the fucking Civil War to prove how good your party is, no. It's 150 years. It doesn't fucking work. You gotta look at modern history. And over the past 60 years, 50, 60 years, the Republicans have been the ones most opposed to any sort of civil rights efforts. Is the NRA all Republicans or Democrats? Oh, the NRA's got its hands in both parties. There's plenty of Democrats who are deep in the NRA's pockets. Republicans as a whole have completely embraced the NRA. Democrats are more split on it, but and there is and there and Democrats are still like it is still moving away. The Democratic Party is still all the time is moving away from the NRA. That said, the Republican Party is completely and totally on board with the NRA, and there's enough Democrats who are on board with the NRA that literally no attempt to address gun violence is possible on a federal level. There is absolutely nothing at all that Congress can do to address the gun violence in the US. The gun control debate is basically over. Like the gun control debate basically doesn't exist. Every few months there's another particularly horrific shooting that gets in the news. There's shootings all the time, but every few months there's a particularly horrific mass shooting that gets a lot of news coverage, and one that isn't matching because the NRA is preventing anything from being done about those mass shootings. Yeah, like every few months there's another particularly horrific mass shooting that gets a lot of media coverage and gets vague discussion of some sort of gun control efforts, and conservatives just freak the fuck out, despite the fact that they've won the debate. Nothing's done. Nothing can be done. Even the most milquetoast bills are going to get blocked, filibustered, and killed. Preventing people who are charged with domestic assault from being able to get guns. Even that shit gets shot down. Shouldn't they go after politicians? Yeah, people do. People go after politicians as well. Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous that there's nothing that can be done. Because the NRA says no, and the Republican Party sides 100% with the NRA. Despite the fact that even most NRA members, even most people who are NRA members, want some fucking gun control legislation. They want some fucking gun control passed. But the NRA doesn't represent gun owners, it represents gun manufacturers. Anyways, not Canadian. It's weirdly, it is. The gun control debate has actually moved into Canada, weirdly. It is very much a uniquely US thing. Like, it is maybe the most uniquely US thing. That said, Canada does actually have a gun control debate of our own. We don't have those. We don't have the number of mass shootings that the US has. We have much stricter gun control laws to begin with than the US, but yeah, I mean, over the past few years, government has tried to, has been sort of working on some new gun control measures that the Conservative Party has been opposing. So we're never going to have the deregulation that the US has in terms of guns. The gun control laws we have in place now are not, the ones that we've had in place for years already, not getting repealed. We have absolutely, Canada as a whole has absolutely no interest in loosening gun control laws. There is debate on whether to strengthen them. I think the big sticking point has been like a gun registration, firearms, like a registry of firearms holders, firearms owners. There's been a bit of a sticking point there. Not even taxes, not taxes. No, it's like a registry of gun owners. don't remember all the details on it. It's been a bit since I read up on any of it, so so I don't remember all the details, but I believe that's been the biggest sticking point in the past of the debate over the past few years. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream for tonight. I've gone longer than I normally do. Usually I would have ended it like half an hour ago, so I'm gonna end it for tonight. And so thanks for coming. And I'll see you tomorrow for Christmas Eve itself. Good night, everybody.